I would say that one of my favorite things to say is that you choose the right people for the right things. There are different things that you need in the midst of grief, and we all grieve a little differently. And so you want to find the right people for the right things. If you're trying to really have someone that you can escape your grief for a minute, don't pick your deep friend. If you need someone that's going to draw out the depths of you, have that person. If you need someone who's just going to help you and do some tasks around the house, but you actually have to think through not one person being all those things for you, but really allowing yourself to have different people for different things and really sharing that grief out. I would also say that we have to make sure that a lot of grace is extended when it comes to relationships, both ways. I think that we have to make sure and set up in our relationships in grief and suffering for them to have a lot of grace with us. We're not going to always respond right. We're not going to always know exactly what we need. But then vice versa, we also have to have grace for those that are trying to help us and support and care for us, because sometimes they don't say the things that you think they should say or do the things that you really need them to do. We have to really pay attention to each other's heart and realize that both of us are just trying to be there in this really hard moment for each other and lay down the expectations upon each other. I'd also say this ties to that, but communication is key. A lot of communication is necessary when you're trying to grieve with others in relationship. And so really making sure that you're communicating your needs, that you're listening to what they're communicating, their availability is for that, setting up boundaries, but also creating the space for them to be with you. And so just really a lot of communication. And I would say this last point I'll make is the most overlooked. Pray often together. Pray often together. You often hear people say, oh, I'm going to pray for you. I'll make sure and pray for you about this. No, pause and pray. That we really need to, if you want to grieve well together with God. And that's inviting God in. When we pray together, then God can unify us in that prayer and really allow us to see that picture clearly together.